Hello and welcome to Expats Everywhere.
Hello, hi.
If you could, tell us your name, where you're from, and a little about yourself.
My name's Aaron Probert. I'm from Canada, and I am 34 and have been traveling as an educated teacher for the last 3 years.
Okay, if you could, tell us what countries have you worked in?
Taiwan, and this is my second, Saudi Arabia.
Okay, what's it like in Taiwan?
Taiwan's great if you're looking for that Asian kind of lifestyle. It offers that and is also very Western. So the culture shock of going to Asia is really dulled down in Taiwan, but you still get that Asian lifestyle. So that was my take on it.
Okay, what types of jobs are available for English-speaking expats?
The type of jobs that you can readily find are within cram schools or day schools for younger children, and you're not going to need a much certification to get those. TEFL, something like that will get you that job, no problem. Also, you have many private high schools that hire, and sometimes you might find public high schools that are looking for teachers as well, but you need to be certified for those.
Okay, do you know anyone that works outside of the ESL realm?
Yes, you can find other types of work as well, but it's mostly after they've been teaching for quite a while and then branch out.
Okay, so let's talk about the ESL jobs then. What did a typical day look like for you at your job?
My job was very different than most people. I worked at a private high school, so my hours were fluctuating depending on the day. Each day would be usually no more than 4 classes for myself and spread out throughout a 6-hour workday.
All right, are you a certified teacher?
I am.
Okay, so where's your certification experience?
I was certified in Canada and in Alberta and taught there for a few years and then decided to travel and teach.
What made you want to travel?
I wanted to see different lifestyles, different ways people approach life, different views, different experiences. And as a certified teacher, if you want that type of lifestyle, it's very easy to achieve it.
All right, cool. So talking about Taiwan and ESL, how much can you expect to earn being a teacher there?
I can only speak for my the path that I took, and I was making around $2,400 US a month, and it was paid in USD. But I could have easily supplemented my income with extra work, such as tutoring, and you can coach, sports and stuff like that. Or you can work in cram schools as well. I didn't pursue that, so I was making about $2,500 a month.
Okay, so $2,500 a month. Is this enough to live on? And,
yes.
And what's the lifestyle like?
Lifestyle is excellent, all right? Very healthy. You have the Buddhist culture there, so if you're into vegetarian meals, that's plentiful. They eat a lot of vegetarian dishes. Almost every restaurant is going to have an extensive vegetarian menu. The food is cheap. It's good. It's cooked right there in front of you. You can find fresh food markets everywhere. So those things were really great. Apartment rental is very cheap. You can usually find, there's a website that you can be referred to. It's called TLIT, Teaching English and Living in Taiwan would be the acronym. And if you go to that website, you can usually find roommates and certain things of the sort, and that really cuts down your living costs.
Okay. How much of your monthly wages can you save?
Oh, everything depends on the person, of course. I like to go out and kind of enjoy life a bit, but I was still able to save almost $1,000 to maybe $1,200 or $1,400 a month. It's quite cheap to live there if you live Spartan.
Okay, so an ESL teacher could expect to save half, depending on their lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, when you first move there, of course, you're going to have startup costs. You might not have a bed. You might not have these things. So you're going to have those startup costs. and that might set you back for maybe the first 3 months. You might not save as much, but then once you get established, like anywhere, you will be able to save if that's your goal.
Okay, well, speaking of startup costs, how much money should someone go to Taiwan with to start up?
It is tough to say. It also depends on the time of year if you show up. If you're looking for a job in a high school and kind of one of the nicer jobs, you need to be there in the periods around like April to May, June at the latest, because that's when the high schools are doing their hiring. And that's when you're going to find the better jobs. The ones, I didn't have to be at the school during my contact hours, so I had 2 mornings off. And those jobs get snatched up quick. And if you're there at that time, you might need about $2,000 or $3,000 just to make it through that section, to find a place to live, to get around, to food. You might have to buy a bed and do those things. I was fortunate enough to move in with someone who had all that stuff, so I had maybe about $2,000, and I was running quite shy near the end. So yeah, around $2,000 for initial startup costs would be more than enough, I would say.
Okay, and did you find your job online, or did you go there and then find a job?
Yes, I found it online, but I was there when I found it. I found it very beneficial to be able to apply and then say, yes, I'm in the country, I can come meet you this day.
Okay, interesting. So let's say that we have a job and we're moving from our home country or a different country to Taiwan. What's the weather like, and how should someone pack?
Okay. I was fortunate enough to be there in a very mild winter, and I'm from northern Canada, so I could have done it with just t-shirts and jeans. But during a colder winter, the houses are not heated, so you will be like quite chilly through the day. It's very humid there, so in the winter it can get a little bone chilling. In the summer it is hot. If you're arriving there anytime from, I would say, March till about November, you're going to be warm. You're only going to need, for walking around, you only need shorts and a t-shirt, and but then, yeah, a couple pairs of pants. You can pack light.
Okay, you can pack light. Nice. Is there anything from Canada that you feel like you should have brought, but you didn't? Anything that maybe you missed from home?
Yeah, a really good rain jacket.
Okay, good rain jacket.
If during the fall it starts raining, and it rains a lot.
So how did you cope without a good rain jacket?
I went and bought a good rain jacket.
Okay. Is it expensive?
No, they're not expensive, but it's nice to have a good one. That's because you will use it a lot, and you can get umbrellas everywhere, but it's nice to have a nice rain jacket.
Okay, good advice. Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about safety. Is it safe there, and did you feel safe on a personal level?
Yes, it is so safe there. Yeah, it's arguably one of the safest places I've ever been. I never once felt I was in a bad situation, and that includes walking home at 4 a.m. from a friend's house, not really knowing where I'm going, and never feeling any type of fear whatsoever.
Okay. So how did you meet people when you were there?
I met people that I worked with. I think within Taiwan, especially if you're in Taipei, it's a big city, so there's many places to go to, and you're not in a small or like a fishbowl where all the expats just kind of get to know each other because they're in the same places together. You will find that to a certain extent, but a lot of the people that you work with will just by naturally become your social group, and then that if the people that they work with have been in Taiwan for numerous years, then you're really exposed to the whole expat community quite quickly.
Very nice. Well, what did you guys do for fun?
There's pretty much anything you want to do. Lots of basketball. If you love basketball, you'll be able to play basketball every single day. There's courts all over the city. You can find football, the European football, and soccer, and you can find ice hockey, lots of rugby for some reason, and yeah.
Anything outside of sports?
Yes. The great culture scene in Taiwan. One thing that I should say too is I was in Taipei, so I was in the major city. Once you get outside Taipei, Taiwan is gorgeous. It's a very tropical island, like a lot of old growth forests and stuff like that. And if you are working outside of Taipei, it's very beautiful, very picturesque. From Taipei, you can go to the ocean, you can go to the beach very quickly via the trains. You can go down south, which is gorgeous. So you can do a lot of sightseeing while you're in, and then Taipei is a world-class city. So you have everything there. You have great movie theaters, you have arts, you have tons of concerts that come through. So your life can be as busy or as quiet as you want it.
So basically, if you live in Taipei, the world is your oyster.
Yeah, too.
Okay.
And it's there's a lot of air traffic that is able to go through Taipei, like via Air Asia and places like that. So when you do get time off, if you get a week or something like that, you can very easily find a cheap flight somewhere.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Do you think that Taiwan is a good travel hub? Why or why not?
It is a good travel hub. I do believe so because it is a major destination, albeit not a lot of Westerners do go there.
Right.
But within Asia, a lot of the Chinese come to Taiwan for vacation. It's very nice there. The people are very, very, very friendly. It's clean. Yeah, it's a great place. And once you're in Taipei, you can get a lot of flights all over that. You have to think like the Philippines is right below you, and Indonesia and Japan's just across a puddle jump away. So if you're looking to visit the Orient, like as we know it, that this is a great place to start.
Sweet. Well, let's finish up here. What are the pros and cons of living in Taiwan?
I don't really have a lot of cons. It's a place that I don't think I ran into one person that disliked being in Taiwan. It might not be your place, like where you really find your groove and you might use it for 1 or 2 years and jump on like I did. But I don't think it definitely doesn't have any negatives. It's a big bustling city, but it's very polite, it's very clean, and they are very very progressive in their thoughts about society and their place in it.
All right, fantastic. Would you work there again?
Yeah, definitely. If I was to go again, I wouldn't go back to Taipei. I'd probably take a job out on the coast and be in nature a little more. It was my first time traveling. It was my first time to Asia, and I really just wanted to live in a big city and see what it felt like. I was from a small city in Canada, so I wanted a big, huge shift for my first time abroad.
Awesome. Thanks for all the advice and sharing your experience with us. We really appreciate it. Best of luck in the future, Aaron. Take care.
Thank you very much.